Jen! 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 Jen!
We're getting the text, you guys.
Is there a way to...
January 29th, 2022.
Your Honor, may I approach just to retrieve the exhibit?
Bev?
Yes.
Who's Bev whispering to?
Ms. Wolf, is there a way to... There we go.
Margaret, the witness might need that exhibit.
Your Honor, may I...
Margaret, the witness might need that exhibit. Okay, it's my friend Jen McCabe. Hi, Jen. We going to Bunko? Hey, we go to Dunkin' Donuts, get a coffee, go to the bar, get drunk, do a little Bunko with the gals. Okay, call me on your burner phone. Call me on your burner phone, allegedly.
Ms. McCabe, do you need lights on or are you okay?
Oh, I'm okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, bestie.
Ms. McCabe, does this appear to be a representative copy of what you're looking at? It's just been marked for evidence.
Yes, it does.
Starting at that top text, which is the green bubble here, can you see at the very top where it says from, there's a redaction?
Yes.
The last four digits of that phone number, do you recognize that?
Yes.
Is that your phone number?
Yes.
Do you see just beneath it, it says 2, and there's a line that says Coco?
Yes.
Is that your sister?
Yes, it
That's
is.
Nicole.
Yes.
And if you look down on the bottom right corner of this exhibit, do you see a time and date stamp?
Yes, I do.
What is that time and date?
It's 1/29/22 at 7:54.
Is that 7:54 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. Can you read for the jurors what you texted to your sister at 7:54?
Sure. Carrie talked to the cops and kept it simple.
Who's Carrie?
Carrie Roberts.
And this is a text that you sent about Miss Roberts's interview with the police.
Yes, it is.
If Mr. Woke, can we pull up the next text, please?
Kept it simple.
Do you see the response in the blue bubble?
Yes, I do.
Who's responding to whom?
I'm responding to my sister, Nicole.
Can you please tell us the time? And we know it's the same date. What time is that?
That would be 7:56. Or
Super
58,
weird.
sorry. I'm not sure if that's an 8 or 6.
Super weird thing to say, Rebecca. Agreed. Kept it simple. You just lost your friend. Why are you talking like this?
I may have misheard you. The blue bubble is from whom?
It's from my sister, Nicole,
To whom?
to me.
Okay, I may have misheard you. I thought you said the reverse. I wanted to
No,
make
she
sure
said
we're
it
clear.
wrong.
The blue bubble
You're right.
is from Nicole. The green bubbles are from you.
Yes, correct.
Got it. And this text says, I'm sorry, read that for me one more time.
Sure. Okay. Try and get some sleep. Talk tomorrow.
Next text, please. What's the time of this text?
7:57.
This is from you to Coco, to Nicole.
Yes.
What does that text say?
Any update?
What did you mean by any update?
I meant had she heard anything or learned anything new?
Next text, please.
Kept it simple. Any update?
Do you see a response from your sister to you?
Yes.
What does that say?
We'll get more info tomorrow. Don't want to text about it.
Why don't you want to text about it? These are sus AF already. Carrie talked to the police, kept it simple. It sounds like people trying to compare notes. They got a story. People with something to hide. They kept, just letting you know, she kept it simple. Why wouldn't you want to text about it? If you're not guilty and nothing happened and you're not involved and it's just about your friend's tragic death, why can't you text about it?
Next text, please. Is this a text from you to your sister, Nicole?
Yes, it is.
What does that say?
Right.
Next text, please. What is the date and time of this text?
It is 1/29 and 2022 at 8:01 p.m.
And this is in response to the text that you just read from you to your sister. And this
Yeah.
is now a text from your sister back to you, correct?
Correct.
What does this text say?
Okay, text me in AM or if you hear anything later.
Thank you. We can bring the lights up for just a moment.
Weird. Weird.
One of the texts, the third from the bottom text on the second page, in other words, the top text on the page, was from your sister to you. We'll get more info, TOMM, correct?
Yes.
Don't want to text about it, correct?
Yes.
Why?
TOMM means tomorrow.
Yes.
This was January 29th, 2022, correct?
Yes.
Tomorrow would have been January 30th,
Yes.
2022. Is that right?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm holding another document. This is a multi-page document. 8 pages in total length. There's a base page on the bottom, 02148.
To me, she looks nervous.
Thank you. May I approach the witness?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can you please take a look at that document, flip through it, and let me know when you're finished?
This is the document we discussed at sidebar.
It is, Your Honor.
It's sidebar. It is, Your Honor. Okay, I'm going to fluff my bangs until she's done reading. She's got Tom Sandoval white nails. Don't trust her. I don't trust her. I hate that he ruined white nails because they actually look nice. But now I don't trust anyone with white nails. Today, Jen McCabe. She's like, I don't see anything about Dunkin' Donuts in there. Or getting drunk, going to the bar. I don't see anything about peanut butter sandwiches. Oh, she looks shocked by the text messages, the group text she was involved in. Look at her. She was like, huh? Did I write that? Oh, shit. I'm going to have to read this out loud. Oh, my God. Did I say that? Oh, shit. How did they get these records from my phone? I thought Brian was going to stop that from happening. Oh, Bev tried to help us and say, you can't get into Jen's phone. But then we had that other attorney overrule her, whatever happens in court. Oh, no. They got everything. Times, dates, plans. I need a Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, my God. I wonder if I can blame my drunk sister, Denise, or whatever her name is, the one with the umbrella. Ella. I think it was my sister. She likes to drink a little bit. And she probably grabbed our phones and butt dialed and texts and was playing It's Raining Men. Oh, my God. There's so many stuff here. I need to talk to Matt. I need to call 5 people at least. I need 10 minutes to prepare. Do you think they'll let me? I got to brush my teeth.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, God. There's nothing I can do. Here you go.
Can I stand at the witness stand for just a second?
Thank you. Don't have a separate copy for Ms. McCabe?
I do. I'm going to hand you this one and ask that this be marked.
Oh, no.
Foundational questions. Ms. McCabe, do you recognize what was depicted in these documents?
Yes.
Does this appear to be a group chat between and among yourself, Nicole Albert, Chris Albert, and Matt McCabe?
I don't believe Chris Albert's on that.
I'm sorry, my mistake. Brian Albert.
Yeah, Brian,
Okay.
sorry.
So the 4 of you?
Yes.
Okay. And does this appear to be a group chat that was engaged between and among y'all on February 1st, starting, I'm going to try to bookend it, starting
Okay.
at about noon, ending at about 5 or 5:30 that evening?
I didn't look, but I'll take your word for it.
So you just look at
Take
the
your word
first
for it.
one or two.
Oh, yeah.
If you want
February
to talk,
1st, yeah.
talk about nothing to do with this.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, how can I get around this?
Same date, around 5:30.
Yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
I'd ask this be marked
Right. Say, for identification or in evidence?
in the evidence.
Same objection, Mr. Brown?
Please.
Yes, that can come.
She did a little side lick. We need a lip licking update. She did the corners of her mouth, you guys. A lip licking update.
Yes.
I'd ask this be marked
Right. Say, for identification or in evidence?
in the evidence.
Same objection, Mr. Brown?
Please.
Yes, that can come.
With the court's permission to publish, please.
Yes.
You got my permission.
If we could start at the second text down. Do you recognize what's depicted both on the screen and in your hand?
Yes.
Does it appear to be the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. Taking a look at that first text, who is that from and who is it to?
Okay. All right. It's from Brian Albert, and it's to myself, my sister Nicole, and Matt McCabe, my
And-
husband.
If you can orient us, please, and I won't do this with every single text, but orient us for the first text. What date and time is this text?
This is February 1st at 12:50.
So this is about 3 days after the event in question.
Yes.
12:50 noon.
Noon, yes.
Just before 1 p.m.
Yes.
What does that text say?
Julie said Channel 4 is in D&E.
And that's from whom?
Brian.
So Brian Albert is, explain what that text means.
So Brian Albert is telling us that Julie told him Channel 4 is in D&E.
Who's Julie?
I'm sorry, Julie Albert.
Thank you. Let's go to the next text. Is this in response to the text that you just read?
Yes.
The prior text mentioned Channel 4 and D&E. What is D&E?
D&E is a sub shop that is owned by Chris Albert.
Is that in Canton?
Oh, sorry. Yes, it's in Canton.
On the main street of Canton?
Yes.
Directly next door to what?
Waterfall.
Across the street from
Oh,
Waterfall?
sorry. CF McCarthy's. Yeah.
Thank you. Across the street from Waterfall, directly adjoining, they have an adjoining wall to C.F. McCarthy's, correct?
Yes.
And D, is it D and E or D in E?
D D and E.
D and E. Okay,
Yeah.
that's just the name of the pizza sub shop.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that context. Ms. McCabe, can you read what this text says, who it's from and who it's to?
This is from Matt McCabe.
Okay, I gotta pause and we gotta rewind a little bit. What the actual frickin' Heimer is going on? Tell them the guy never went in the house. The guy? This is just days after your very close friend, Jen McCabe and Matt McCabe, was found tragically murdered on the lawn of your brother-in-law's house and your sister and your brother-in-law's yard. And you guys are saying the guy? Okay, let's rewind. I can't believe this. And Channel, even though it said
And
McCarthy's, yeah.
Chanel, because this family just cannot spell.
Julie said Channel 4 is in D&E.
and that's from whom?
Brian.
So Brian Albert explain what that text means.
So Brian Albert is telling us that Julie told him Channel 4 is in D&E.
Who's Julie?
I'm sorry, Julie Albert.
Thank you. Let's go to the next text. Is this in response to the text that you just read?
That's crazy.
Yes.
The prior text mentioned Channel 4 and D&E. What is D&E?
D&E is a sub shop that is owned by Chris Albert.
Is that in Canton?
Oh, sorry. Yes, it's in Canton.
On the main street of Canton?
Yes.
Directly next door to what?
Waterfall.
Across the street from
Oh,
Waterfall?
sorry. CF McCarthy's. Yeah.
Thank you. Across the street from Waterfall, directly adjoining, they have an adjoining wall to CF McCarthy's, correct?
Yes.
And D, is it D and E or D in E?
D and E.
D and E. Okay,
yeah.
that's just the name of the pizza sub shop.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that context. Ms. McCabe, can you read what this text says, who it's from and who it's to?
This is from Matt McCabe to myself, my sister Nicole, and Brian.
Can you read it for us, please?
Sure. Eating, I assume. Ask Chris to ask some questions. Tell them the guy never went into the house.
What? That's so fun.
What does tell them the guy never went into the house mean to you? How did you take that?
I took that as John never came in the house.
Who's the guy?
John.
John O'Keefe.
Yes.
And the beginning of that sentence is tell them that the guy never came in the house, correct?
Yes.
And the sentence before that is ask Chris to ask some questions, correct?
Yes.
So this is Matt McCabe directing that Chris ask questions of Channel 4, correct?
I wouldn't say directing.
Whatever word you want to use.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that Matt,
Suggesting.
I think we're all looking to find out what happened. So Matt was like, ask some questions. What do they know?
And also indicating that Chris should tell them the guy never came in the house, right?
Why would the media know more than you know? Why are you setting it up where you're asking questions, where you're advising, where your husband, Jen McCabe, is telling Brian Albert, yourself, and Nicole Albert to ask Chris, Brian Albert's brother, to ask some questions of the media of Channel 4. And make sure you tell the media the guy never came in the house. This is your friend. This is not a guy. This is John O'Keefe. This is your buddy. Why would you word it like that? And why are you sending that back and forth to each other? This looks so sus. Tell him the guy never went in the house. What? It's literal days after you found him dead. And you're worried about the media knowing he didn't go in the house? Why? That's freaking weird. Right, Leotard? It's so sus. And that makes it seem like he went inside that house for sure, because why would you be saying make sure that Chris tells the media that the guy never went in the house? The guy being John O'Keefe. And that's how you treat your friends who are recently passed. You're more worried about telling the media the guy never went in the house. Why? This is so sus. I don't understand how some people aren't sus at this. Like, why aren't you sussed out about this? This family is freaking weird. And not in like a fun Aquarius weird way, but like bad weird. Oh, let's keep going. How's she going to explain her way out of this one?
John never came in the house, correct?
Okay. Next text, please.
The guy. I can't get over the guy.
Can you orient us? Who is this text from and who is it to?
Okay. This text is from Brian to myself, to Nicole, and to Matt.
Brian who?
Sorry, Brian Albert.
And this is in response to the text above that you just read, correct?
Yes.
Where Matt McCabe said,
And Brian Albert is saying, exactly. Exactly, Brian? Oh, I don't know. If my friend turned up deceased on my front lawn, I wouldn't be having texts like this if I had nothing to do with it and I was so innocent.
tell Chris to find out, get an update or something, and tell him that the guy never came in the house.
Yes.
This is in response to that text.
Yes.
And what does Brian Albert respond?
Exactly.
One word, correct?
Yes.
Next text, please.
Oh my gosh, these people are. Oof. They're
This is a
horrible.
green box, so I presume this is you.
Yes, it is.
Not
And this is to whom?
OMG, Jen.
To Nicole, to Brian, to Matt.
And what does your text read?
It means, oh my God.
It's ONG, but
Yeah.
it meant to be OMG, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I do a lot of errors.
Which stands for oh my God.
Yes.
Did you hear us? I do a lot of errors. Yeah, we know. How's long to die in the cold? Ay, ay, ay.
Next text, please. Who is this from and who's it to?
So this is from my sister Nicole to myself, to Brian, and to Matt.
And what does that text read?
It says, I assume it's just to eat, but Brian, if she is there, ask her what the deal is.
What?
Next text, please. Before I ask you about this text, the last text, that was from whom one more time?
My sister Nicole.
It was from your sister Nicole?
Yes.
And she mentions a she, a pronoun she.
Yes.
Is that referring to Julie Albert?
To be honest, I don't know who she's referring to.
Well, remember the first text started, or did the first text start with someone reporting that Julie said that Channel 4 was in D&E?
Yes, it did.
So would that prior text mean get Julie Albert to get some updates on what's going on? Let's go back to that last text one more time.
Yeah,
What in the
See where it
world?
reads, if she's there? Does that mean if Julie is at D&E, hence she just reported that Channel 4 is there?
I'm truly not sure who she's referring to as the she.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go to the next text, please. Who's this text from and who's it to?
This text is from myself, and it is to my sister Nicole, to Brian, and to Matt.
And what does this read?
This says to ask if we heard if she is in a mental hospital.
Next text, please.
This is from me to my sister Nicole, to Brian, and to Matt.
What's the time on this text?
2:55.
And what does it read?
Carrie is here going over timeline.
But she's not the leader and the organizer, but she sure texts a lot to this group and keeps them informed.
Who's the Carrie referring to?
Carrie Roberts.
What is here?
I would assume here would mean my house.
Next text, please.
We're going over the timeline for Peg, not for ourselves.
Who's this from and who's it to?
This is from Brian to me, to Nicole, to Matt.
And what does this text read?
I did hear that.
Next text, please. Who's this text from and who's it to?
This text is from me to my sister Nicole, to Brian, to Matt.
What does it read?
And we handed the phone to Carrie.
Who's Carrie?
Carrie Roberts.
What phone
Is
is
she laughing? Why are you laughing? And we handed the phone to Carrie because she's not one of us. And she'll just do what we say. We're like, here, Carrie.
And to Matt.
What does it read?
And we handed the phone to Carrie.
Objection. Judge Bev, I'm going to need you to get in there and say, what's so funny to Miss Jen McCabe like you did Karen Read? Overruled. I don't have to do anything. I got these bangs for a reason. They're power bangs. Get off my power bangs, bitch. Okay. Okay.
Who's Carrie?
Carrie Roberts.
What phone are you referring to?
Mine.
Who was on the other end of that phone?
On February 1st, I believe it could have been Michael Proctor.
Next text, please.
Oh, you made Carrie talk to Michael Proctor? You're like, we handed Carrie the phone. Here you go. You talk to him. I can't talk to this leaky balloon knot, Baldy McBalder. Objection. It's not his fault. He's bald. Overruled. It is his fault. He's bald. Okay. The more lies he tells, the more hair he loses.
Who's this from and who's it to?
This is from me to Nicole, to Brian, to Matt.
What does it read?
She is telling him everything.
Everything is in all caps with an exclamation point, correct?
Yes, it is.
What's the timestamp on this, Ms. McCabe?
2:55.
What? She's telling him everything. What do you mean everything?
She is telling him everything.
Everything is in all caps with an exclamation point, correct?
Yes, it is.
Who's the him that you're referring to in this text?
I believe it was Michael Proctor.
Next text, please.
This is from me to Nicole, to Brian, to Matt.
What's the timestamp on this text?
2:55.
Same minute that you sent the last text?
Yes.
She's telling him everything?
Yes.
And then you follow up with what?
All the stuff.
Next text, please.
All the stuff you agreed on, all the stuff you talked about, all what stuff?
Who's this responsive text from?
All the
This
plan?
is from Matt to myself, Nicole, and Brian.
And what's the timestamp on this?
4:35.
What does this read?
Yep. If she pleads out, it will end. If she fights it, it will be an episode.
Who's she?
I'm assuming that would be Miss Read.
Next text, please.
Whoa, 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 whoa. If she pleads out, it'll end. If she fights it, it'll be an episode. It'll be an episode of Canton, Commonwealth, PD. This is the world. Sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts.
And what's the timestamp on this?
4:35.
What does this read?
Yep. If she pleads out, it will end. If she fights it, it will be an episode.
Who's she?
I'm assuming that would be Miss Read.
Oh,
Next text, please. Who's this from and who's it to?
This is from Nicole to me, to Matt, and to Brian.
And what does this read?
She liked the text above.
The previous text?
Yes.
Meaning like a thumbs up or a like?
Yeah, it just says liked. So
The one that reads, yeah, if she pleads, it will end.
Mhm.
If she fights, it will be an episode.
yes. This is from Matt. Oh, sorry. To me, to Nicole, and to Brian.
And what does this read?
Brian sitting separate.
what?
Is that a period or a comma? I honestly can't see. Is that a period or a comma between Brian and sitting? Or can you tell?
She needs a read us. What does he mean? Brian sitting separate? What?
I can't tell if it is or it's just like the way it printed out. I'm not sure.
Next text, please. Who's this from and who's it to?
Brian to me, Nicole, and Matt.
What's the timestamp on this?
That is 4:55.
And what does that text read?
Okay.
And the next text.
Jesus.
This is another green bubble. Who's this from and who's it to?
This is me, Matt. Me, Nicole, Matt, and Brian.
And what did you say? What did you write in this text?
I wrote you listening.
And what's the timestamp on this?
That is
Listening.
5:15.
I'm sorry, it would be what time?
Oh, I'm sorry, 5:15.
And in fact, at 5:15, Ms. Roberts was in your house being personally interviewed by Massachusetts State Police, correct?
Oh my, are you listening? I thought you were supposed to listen to this. I thought you were supposed to give them their privacy. Oh my God. Why would you say, are you listening? Why would you want to be listening to Carrie Roberts talk to the police if you had nothing to do with it and you're just telling the story about what happened that night? And if John O'Keefe never came in the house? Are you listening? And you're not the ringleader, Jen McCabe? Organizing all this? Be like, are you listening? This is cuckoo bananas craziness.
And in fact, at 5:15, what's the timestamp on this?
I'm sorry, me, Nicole.
Oh my God, I got to hear it again, you guys. I got to hear it again.
This is another green bubble. Who's this from and who's it to?
This is me, Matt. Me, Nicole, Matt, and Brian.
This
And
is
what did you say?
diabolical.
What did you write in this text?
I wrote you listening.
And what's the timestamp on this?
That is 5:15.
I'm sorry, it would be what time?
Oh, I'm sorry, 5:15.
And in fact, at 5:15, Ms. Roberts was in your house being personally interviewed by Massachusetts State Police, correct?
They were there. I'm not sure if this is the exact time, but yes, they did come over.
Just to be clear and to orient us, there was a phone conversation that you were privy to between Carrie Roberts and Michael Proctor telephonically. Okay.
She was
Earlier in the day,
yeah, earlier in the day he had called me and then Carrie had asked to speak with him.
and that's the handed her the phone.
Yes.
And later, a couple of hours later, 5-ish or so, she was still at your house. Michael Proctor came over and interviewed her at your home.
No,
I'm sorry, not Michael,
sorry.
Massachusetts State Police.
Came over and spoke to myself, her, and Matt.
And you wrote you listening to the group, correct?
Yes.
Who was that specifically directed to?
Probably Matt.
I honestly don't know.
Was there anybody else in the house during her interview other than you and the troopers?
My husband, Matt, my daughter, her friend, my other daughter.
So clearly it was to Matt because he's the only person in the text exchange that was also there while Carrie was talking to Proctor.
Of the people on this text chain, the only person that would have been in the house that could have conceivably, quote unquote, listened would be Matt.
My daughter, her friend, my other daughter. There
So
was-
of the people on this text chain, the only person that would have been in the house that could have conceivably, quote unquote, listened would be Matt. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Next text, please. Who's this from and who's it to?
It's from me to Matt, Nicole, and Brian.
And what does it read?
Cops here again.
You were reporting to the others on this text stream that the police had arrived at your house. They were in your house with you and Carrie that you just described, correct?
Yes, I was just telling them that they were here again.
You're not just telling them, you're giving them a play-by-play.
Who's this from and who's it to?
This is from my sister, Nicole, to myself, Brian, and Matt. And Nicole says, call us after.
And what time was this?
This was 5:23.
Call us after.
Did you
Why?
take this to mean that she wanted you to call the group after Carrie Roberts' interview and update them about that interview?
I took it as if she just wanted, to call and see what the cops said and if there was any update, any information.
Next text, please.
This is from Matt, and it's to myself, Nicole, and Brian.
What time is this?
This is at 5:31.
And at 5:31, what does Mr. McCabe write to the group?
This girl could write a book nonstop.
Was that in reference to Carrie Roberts?
Matt McCabe, who's in the house while Carrie Roberts is talking to Michael Proctor, the lead investigator on the murder of John O'Keefe. And he says, this girl could write a book talking about Carrie Roberts, which would indicate like she's telling a story. She is a yapper.
Matt, and it's to myself, Nicole, and Brian.
What time is this?
This is at 5:31.
And at 5:31, what does Mr. McCabe write to the group?
This girl could write a book nonstop.
Was that in reference to Carrie Roberts having her interview with the Massachusetts State Police?
Yes, it was.
And this girl is Carrie, correct?
Yes.
Next text, please.
Wow, we're talking shit on Carrie Roberts.
Who's this from and who's it to?
This is from me to Nicole, Brian, and Matt.
What time is this text?
5:32.
And what do you write to the group?
I love it.
And this is in direct response to Matt McCabe's, your husband's text about Carrie Roberts could write a book.
I am so disgusted at the fact that these people are going around town, Jen McCabe, acting as though this is such a tragedy. She loved her friend John. And you're responding so cavalier, so positive. Like, I love it. Yeah, she could write a book. You're making jokes about it. I love it. What would be to love within days of your friend being tragically found deceased on the front lawn of your brother-in-law and sister's house? This is diabolical. Now this is nefarious, aka nefarious. Who would talk like this when discussing? It's not even that. I'm not saying they can't have any joy in their life, but they're specifically talking about being questioned about the murder of their good friend who they said they loved. And she's like, yeah, I love it. This is gross, Jen McCabe. This is really gross. I can't even make fun of this. This is so gross. You and your husband are freaking gross for this. Ugh, I feel dirty listening to this. That was your friend. Justice for John O'Keefe. These people are trash.
Was that in reference to Carrie Roberts having her interview with the Massachusetts State Police?
Yes, it was.
And this girl is Carrie, correct?
Yes.
Next text, please.
Terrible books of a lost world. This is bad.
Who's this from and who's it to?
This is from me to Nicole, Brian, and Matt.
What time is this text?
5:32.
And what do you write to the group?
I love it.
And this is in direct response to Matt McCabe's, your husband's text about Carrie Roberts could write a book, correct?
Yes.
Suggesting that both you and Mr. McCabe were listening to her interview, correct?
We could hear different parts of it, correct?
Next text, please. And who's this from and who's it to?
This is from me to Nicole, to Brian, to Matt.
What did you write?
Ugh.
I wrote, she is telling them everything.
Similar to the text that we earlier saw that was in all caps when you indicated she's telling them everything, correct?
Yes.
On the phone. That was in reference to what she was saying on the phone.
Yes.
This is in reference to the live interview, correct?
Yes.
Also indicating that you were listening to and were privy to the content of her conversation with the police.
I could hear bits and pieces of it, yes.
Enough to say that she's telling them everything.
When I use the word everything, I meant it in not only was she telling them what had happened, but she was also telling them opinions and different things.
Okay, so you could hear it that much.
Oh, so you're just making jokes like, oh my God, she talks so much. She's such a yappa. She's saying everything. I need a Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, Leotard says his poor mom having to hear this. I know. These are his alleged friends. Yuck, Jen. Yuck. Yuck. The makeover's not working.
I could hear her saying some opinions.
Okay. Next text, please. Who's this from and who's it to?
This is from my sister Nicole to myself, to Matt, to Brian.
And this is in response to she is telling them everything, correct?
Yes.
And the text reads what?
Good.
Next text, please. Who is this from and who is it to?
This is from Matt to myself, to Nicole, and to Brian.
And what does it read?
He says, going to miss the basketball game at this rate.
You mean Matt says.
Oh, sorry. Matt says, going to miss the basketball game at this
I'm
rate.
sorry, I keep pausing. This is crazy. So your friend is tragically murdered just a few days before. You have leaky balloon knot, trooper procta in your house questioning Carrie Roberts because you want justice, right? This is your friend, your mourning. And your husband, Matt McCabe, is worried he's going to miss a basketball game. These people are the devil. She's the devil in disguise. So yes, you are. Oh my gosh. And she's like, yeah, he's going to miss the basketball game. Yeah. I got peanut butter and bread in my car, you know, because we go to so many, just a mom. I'm just a mom. I'm not used to this sort of thing. I'm just a mom. I'm just a mom who coordinates a possible cover up or something. I'm just a mom.
He says, going to miss the basketball game at this rate.
You mean Matt says.
Oh, sorry. Matt says, going to miss the basketball game at this rate.
Indicating that he was still in the house and still privy to the conversation between Carrie Roberts and the Massachusetts State Police.
He was waiting for them to talk, but Carrie kept talking, was, as he said, she could write a book. So he felt he was going to miss the game because she just kept talking.
Next text, please. That may be the end of it.
Yeah, it is.
Is that the last text on the page?
Yes, it is.
May I approach you?
Yes.
She's like, yeah, it
Do you
is.
want
That
both
was
of them?
nice, wasn't it?
Okay.
Why are you in such a good mood? Those texts were I think they were damning. Damn.
Ms. McCabe,
Yes.
these text messages were on a private chat, both the one between you and your sister, as well as the group chat, correct? Those are private chats, not open to the public.
Correct.
You never intended, obviously, for any of those texts to become public, correct?
I handed my phone over, so I knew all my texts would be seen.
When you were writing the text, when the group was chatting back and forth or texting back and forth, those were intended to be private texts between and among just the people on the text string, correct?
I just was texting my family. I wasn't thinking anymore of who was going to see it.
You certainly did not expect when you were writing those texts that the defense, Ms. Karen Read's representatives would ever get a hold of those texts. That was not in your mind, correct?
Would never have been in my mind, no.
That is a textbook example, what we've just seen, of witnesses colluding with one another about a subject matter that's under investigation, correct?
All right, jurors, disregard that comment.
Aye.
Completely disregard that question.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes.
Objection. Beverly, come on. It is a clear indication, and it could be seen, and let him ask, of colluding. Overruled. I don't believe in collusion. I don't. I believe in volume in the blow dry. Oh my God, Bev. He's like, can we approach? Okay, I don't want to look at the fan.
Not?
I was not.
Just saw.
And we're back. Oh my goodness.
May I, Your Honor? Yes. Thank you. In the text that we just saw, you were colluding with other witnesses, percipient witnesses in this case through those text messages, were you not?
I was not.
You were organizing your statements to the police based on what you overheard and what you heard during Carrie Roberts' interview with the Massachusetts State Police, weren't you?
No, I was not.
You were reporting back to other percipient witnesses what you heard and saw during other witnesses' statements to the police, to wit, Carrie Roberts, correct?
I was telling them Carrie was speaking with the police.
And you told them she's telling them, quote, everything, correct?
Yes, I told them some of the opinions that she stated.
And when Mr. McCabe said she could write a book, she's going on, in other words, she's going on and on, your statement was, I love it, correct?
Yes.
And you reported that back to other witnesses who were not privy to Ms. Roberts's statements to the police, correct?
To my sister and to my brother-in-law, yes.
And then your sister asked for updates when Carrie Roberts was done, correct?
I don't know if it was in regard to updates when she was done or updates like, did they tell us anything? Is there anything new? We were still all trying to figure out what had happened.
The four of you were discussing the facts surrounding this case, not only with each other, but discussing interviews, formal police interviews that you heard or overheard with another witness, weren't you?
I told them some of the things that Carrie Roberts said, yes.
And you were happy about what she said after you had created this timeline with her, correct?
The timeline had nothing to do with it.
But it was certainly chronologically her interview with the police was after this timeline had already been created between you and Karen.
What? Does
Yes, we
someone
both
have
put
a
down-
dog toy there? Is that Chloe? Justice for Chloe. I feel bad for Chloe. But did you hear that squeaky dog toy?
Heard or overheard with another witness, weren't you?
I told them some of the things that Kerry Roberts said, yes.
And you were happy about what she said after you had created this timeline with her, correct?
The timeline had nothing to do with it.
But it was certainly chronologically. Her interview with the police was after this timeline had already been created between you and Karen.
Dog toy.
Yes, we both put down what had happened so we would remember.
And then once she was interviewed, you were responding to the rest of the group. She's telling them everything, meaning everything we just crafted in this timeline. Right?
No, I meant she was telling them everything. She was telling her personal opinions about Miss Read.
Oh boy, Jenny.
Because I had like bread and maybe peanut butter in my car.
Why did you have bread and peanut butter in your car?
I had my niece for the week, and I was dragging her like to all my kids' sporting events. So we'd go from like one game to another game to a practice. So sometimes instead of always giving her McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts, I'd try to throw her a peanut butter sandwich.
And they were making fun of you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what the hell?
Sometimes instead of always giving her McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts.